In this video we'll be looking at how to simplify algebra. So simplifying algebra simply means writing it in a shorthand way. Algebra, because it has so many letters and symbols and obviously numbers combined into that, it can quite quickly get very messy. So a lot of these rules are to make it look a lot cleaner. So we will be talking about multiplication, division and powers. First of all, I would like to discuss addition as well. So when you have the same letter or the same symbol and you're adding those together, A plus A plus A is simply 3 lots of A. You could imagine this as like 3 times A, and 3 times A you will soon learn we can just write as 3A like that. However, if we have different symbols, so A plus B plus C plus D, then that has to simply stay as A plus B plus C plus D. That can't be simplified at all. This is similar to when we were adding and subtracting surds. Now, if you haven't seen that video, the same kind of rules apply. Okay, so let's look at our multiplication rules first. So, like I said previously, if you're multiplying two things together, you can simply write them next to each other. So, based on that fact, if you want to give it a go yourself, please do pause the video. But if not, A times B would make AB. B times C, BC, and X times Y times Z, exactly what you might think, X, Y, Z, just like that. If you were to add in numbers into that, let's say you've got 3A times 2C. All we would do is times those numbers first and times those letters after. 6AC, simple as that. Okay, now let's look at our division. So X divided by Y. It doesn't look too messy, but a much cleaner way to write it would simply be X over Y. And the same with A divided by B, A over B. Just looks a little bit nicer when you've got complicated things going on. Okay, and finally, our powers. So you may be familiar with normal numbers, so just at the bottom here, if we write 2 times 2, that is just simply 2 squared, which eventually will be 4. Likewise, if you were to do 3 times 3 times 3, that would be 3 cubed, giving you 27. But that doesn't matter for now. So those same rules are going to be applied. A times A, we can write that A squared. A times A times A is 3A, so A cubed. X times Y times Y. Now, I want you to break this up into 2 separate brackets. X times X, using the rules we talked about above, we have X squared. We're timesing that to Y times Y, giving you Y squared. Now, just like this rule that we learned up here, when you're multiplying 2 together, we just write them next to each other. X squared, Y squared. Simple as that. So hopefully, this is kind of helping you see that algebra is a lot easier than it needs to be, and a lot easier than a lot of people first think it is when they hear the word algebra. One common mistake that a lot of people make, again, it sounds silly when you're being told it, but they get confused when you're multiplying and adding. It's a completely fair mistake to make, but a lot of people get confused. One of them is 3A, one of them is A cubed. Which one is which? And it's one of those things where you're just going to have to remember the rules. But obviously when you're adding, you've got 3 lots of A, and when you're multiplying, you've got A cubed. If you're ever in doubt, replace it with a number. So 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is the same as 3 lots of 2, which is 6. If you've got 2 times 2 times 2, that is the same as like 2 cubed, which gives you 8. So think of the numbers in their place and then replace them with the letters afterwards. Thank you for watching, and I hope that helped.